C4, how's it going, man?
Yo, 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 what the fuck is up?
Dude, I'm so happy you're doing this. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. My
Really
pleasure.
cool. Dude, you are like out in the boonies right now. You're just in a
I
bunker
am
somewhere.
yeah, I'm dug in on a mountain in the Catskills. I've
Mm-hmm.
been here since March. As soon as this whole virus thing actually I mean, I'm not like a psycho prepper.
Mm-hmm.
There's people far more psycho and better prepared than I am. But I'm a moderate prepper, and
Okay.
I've been waiting for this for the last 20 years. So,
I
as
feel
soon as
like everybody that's been prepping even a little bit is just like, I fucking told you.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You
So
know?
in the
But,
middle of the night,
mm-hmm.
packed up the family and head on up to the Catskills.
Dude, I see you guys posting all the time, and at first I didn't realize you and Mark are like post like, oh, going fishing Catskills, and I'm like, they go up there a lot.
Right,
All
right. Yeah,
right.
he's living up here too.
Yeah.
We have two houses about I don't know 50 yards apart from one another,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, in fact, right now I'm sitting outside his house.
Yeah. How cool is that?
So yeah, it's
The
it's dope. It's
families and
uh it's it's I tell you one thing, the world is falling apart, so I hear, but we're
hmm
not affected by that. We're just up here, we're living off the land practically. I mean, we still go food shopping, but
hmm
that's about it. We don't leave. And I
yeah.
couldn't even tell you how many acres we have. I'm gonna guess like 20 something. I really have no clue.
Jeez.
We got we got chickens, we got gardens,
Dude,
and
that's awesome.
we're just chilling.
That's so cool. And it's so funny because like I was like, "Oh, is there a puppy behind you?" You're like, "Yeah, I got a couple."
Yeah.
While the music was playing, Mark came over with just like this big knife and like two dogs.
and
It's like,
actually my big German Shepherd did not like that one bit.
yeah.
It was kind of cool.
Hey, that's there you go, right?
So yeah.
Um, you guys are such cool people. And no, you're not a crazy doomsday prepper. You're just informed. I
I
mean,
call
you're
it
prepared.
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 You know?
hmm
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So thank you for doing this. Let's dive into the Voodoo Water. Learn a little bit
Yeah,
about
let's.
you. Why don't you tell the people a little bit about what you do?
Well, I'm 5'8". I like touching myself.
Mm-hmm.
And no, seriously. Although that is true.
It's
Although I
true.
haven't
Mm-hmm.
touched myself in God 10 years or so. But so I am the co-founder. Militia and I created Flak Jacket probably in about I don't know 1999, maybe even like 98 with the concept, and then 99 or so we started taking it out.
Mm-hmm.
So that I am the guitar player for that, and then probably about 6 years ago or so, I started Ambush Radio.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to. I've always been somebody that, even though I love playing music, I like just being part of the scene any way I can. And if I
Mm-hmm.
can't be playing, I want to just. I always want to be doing something with it. And it's kind of silly, but as a kid, back when before internet and all that stuff, I grew up. When we just had to actually turn the channels yourself on a TV. I always wanted to be a radio DJ, and I wanted to have like a stupid name like VJ the DJ or something like that.
BJ the
And
DJ.
and now with in the age that we're at, you
Mm-hmm.
can do that kind of shit from
Mm-hmm.
your bedroom and whatnot. So
Do you have like a disc jockey like radio voice where it's like, "Hey, how's it going? VJ DJ coming at you live."
yeah, so I
Yeah,
try to mess around with
that's
that
cool.
on Ambush
Mm-hmm.
Radio a little bit.
Can you hit us with one? Say
So
promoting the show right now. Can you hit us with it?
uh no, actually, I'm
No.
sober now. So we'll
All
see.
right. Well,
But
later,
I do
later.
have. We are. We'll talk about Ambush Radio, and I will give you a voice.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting this. In fact, we were going to target you the other night. We're
Yeah.
uh we're starting this new concept because now that we can't have guests in and all this and that. Well, I guess we can, but who wants to come up to the Catskills?
I will
Um,
come up to the Catskills.
nice. We're doing this new thing now called You've Been Ambushed,
mm-hmm.
and what we do is we just will blind call somebody, right on the air, and we'll just quickly have a conversation with them. And the first thing when we call them up is they're like, "Hello," you're like, "You've been ambushed."
So
So
good.
so one of these days you just might get that call.
Okay. I feel like I missed that call because the one day I didn't. I said I'm not doing shit. Turn my phone off. I'm not
Yep.
editing videos. I'm not reaching out to people. I'm not doing anything. I missed a call from you, and you're like, "Yeah, dude."
No, well, hey,
It's all
you
right.
know,
You'll get me. You'll get me at
yeah,
one
we'll,
point.
we'll rotate back around.
I'll try to
Uh,
run over to all my nice equipment and try to answer the call here instead
there
of
you
like on
go.
the
Uh
toilet.
huh. Uh huh.
You'll probably get me on the toilet, and I'll answer.
That's why we like to ambush people. You know.
One of my favorite memories of you guys was you and Mark. It was a Halloween show we did with Knox Colt and Flak Jacket and the
Oh
Shrimp
yes.
Shrimp Wreck.
Shipwrecks, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
AKA, I call them the shit dicks.
Shit dicks. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Makes sense. I don't.
That's
And Monkey was in a Duff costume, and he was taking a
right.
shit. And you guys ran in there with your wireless guitar and mic and closed the door. And it wasn't like a big bathroom; it was like
All right.
a broom closet. And you guys were still playing and singing, and he was just taking a dump.
Yeah, that's what we
It's
like to do.
beautiful,
We
beautiful.
yeah. So,
I'll
uh,
never. You guys made memories that I'll never forget. I
and
appreciate it.
unfortunately, I remember too much of that show. That was for
Dude,
one of
stop.
the
You
first times I've
don't.
ever, I
You're
drank
still.
way too much, and
Dude, don't worry
and
about it. It was a
it
good
all
show.
ran away from me. But it
No, it was a
happens.
good show. I don't want to hear any more of that, man. It's been years. It's just, I had such a great time. You guys have been one of my favorite people to work with. I took Chris Lenore,
Okay.
Tris now. She's do you remember the pop singer?
Yes, I do. We had her in on ambush.
We had
Correct.
her on the show too here, and it's one of those cool things where I got to take her onto your show, and it was just such a good time in the hooch,
Yep. Yep.
you know. Really cool, man. So you're still actively doing your show, and this is on Guerrilla Radio.
GuerrillaRadio.com. Yep, Militia and I. Well, we are no longer broadcasting from the hooch.
Hmm.
We now have a makeshift. He has this cool barn on his property, and it's the pillbox. So now
So you guys are
we
awesome.
will record our episodes from the
Hmm.
pillbox, and trying to be regular with it. So it doesn't always work out like that. It's not like we're super busy or anything up here,
Right.
but sometimes just the having nothing to do, you're so busy doing that.
Yeah. Well, hey, why not?
So,
You know.
but yeah, we've been trying to do it. I think we're about 2 or 3 episodes in
Cool.
the pillbox up here, and we're just starting to get that momentum back, and then
Hmm.
hopefully we'll be able to pump out something weekly.
Yeah. So do you have a coherent schedule at the moment, or is it just like, hey, you know what, we're going live?
Yeah, right now it's just kind of like, well, we tape our shows.
Okay.
I still refer to them as live because I don't edit
Hmm.
unless I say something a little too harsh. But
Uh huh.
other than that, whatever
Hmm.
happens, happens. I like to just let it go as if it's live.
Hmm.
And so no, we don't have any fixed schedule. But we're on GuerrillaRadio.com Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, 8 p.m., 8 a.m., 8 p.m. And as long as we bust out an episode and get it uploaded for that, that's when it happens. So
Very cool. So what do people follow besides everything Flak Jacket? What do the people follow so that they can get notified?
I guess right now go to Ambush Radio on Facebook. We're a grenade, easy to find.
Hmm.
Right now there, and I have to get my ass in gear, or get some interns or something,
Yeah. I
because I
haven't.
would like to have, I got to get more into the what's
Yep.
the other
Social
one?
media and
Yeah, I have to get more into these digital platforms, and I
yeah.
find myself like just kind of slacking with
Well,
that.
I asked you for a slew of links and you gave me nothing. You just ignored it. So I was
Oh
like,
yeah, see,
this
there
guy
we
doesn't
go. My
even.
bad.
It,
I'm not
it's
always
all right.
homework was never my my
It's
my my
it's
strength. I was always cheating on tests.
it's fine. If everybody wants to go to the description, you'll find my links, and you'll also find Flak Jacket's Facebook and Ambush Radio, I believe's website.
Yes,
So
yep,
that's
we're
a
all
way to do
there.
it.
Flak Jacket also has
Which I
a
was
website.
checking out. I like
Uh,
it.
FlakJacketMusic.com,
Hmm.
and that is that I do have somebody who updates that regularly, so that is pretty much up to date.
Mm. So you kind of like were like, I'm out. You and Mark were like, I'm out, and we have a place to go. Let's go in
Yeah,
March. So
yeah.
you've been just chilling, kind of.
Chilling, yeah.
Hmm.
It's been good, man. Like you know, it's a shame that there's a virus that's going on that's really
Sure.
affecting people's lives and everything. It knock on wood, not yet, has not affected me negatively, and I'm grateful to have this time where I can put so much time into like fixing up my house and doing
Hmm.
all this stuff that normally you don't get to do.
Yeah.
I get like a few weekends a month or a year, or whatever the case is. And
Yeah.
here, never did I ever dream that I would be able to live here and really put time into to things,
Is this a permanent move, or is this?
No, no. I mean, my day job is I'm a teacher, so I mean,
Oh yeah.
whenever our wonderfully talented governor decides what's going on with that,
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to eventually come back and do that. But with the way it worked out was, everyone was working from home and you're teaching from home, so
Remotely, yeah.
we're like, fuck it, we'll come up here and we'll do this as long as we can.
Well,
So,
I forgot that you're a teacher, so do you mind talking a little bit about that? Because
no, no,
okay, because I've heard multiple things. I think the most popular opinion, I would call them at this point, because I haven't heard anything, but I'm not
yep.
really in that world, is like A and B schedule. So it'd be like you come in for
Yeah,
like, a
I
couple
heard
days.
that too. Like a 2 day. Like I heard like possibly going in 2 days a week, and
Mhm.
then the kids are home 3 days a
But
week.
why? As a teacher,
Um,
do you find an
you
advantage
know,
to that, or
I I don't.
because it's
My
like,
opinion is pretty useless, but um, I think a lot of this is largely political, and
mm,
there's definitely a danger out there. No questions that
yeah.
with that, but I don't know because what is the difference, and
Because if you're doing it 2 days a week, that's
right,
two times
right.
you're exposing
I guess the virus isn't active on
on
Tuesday
Tuesdays and
through Friday,
Thursdays. Yeah.
So I mean
Mm,
that's my whole thing
mm-hmm.
is you know I want to be there for my students and everything, and then if
Sure.
that's what the orders come down to do, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But there's a part of me that's like, shit, I don't want to find out that I'm like one of these, people that get it and then doesn't fare so well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just looking at like just being active on Facebook in our music scene,
Mm-hmm.
the number of people that have died that I've known, or at least knew of, you start learning people's names, who
Yeah.
you're friends with on Facebook in the music scene. And
Mm-hmm.
like the Long Island music scene took a huge hit
Mm-hmm.
of people dying from that complications. Unfortunately, there's the suicide end of it. A lot of people, I guess, really couldn't handle this isolation
That's
thing,
a good
and
point.
you
I know,
know,
like, I go to therapy bi-weekly now. Just started bi-weekly, but I was doing it weekly, and at some point they were like, "Oh no, we're gonna just pay for it."
right?
And my
Wow,
my insurance was like, "We'll pay for it." And so
nice.
that told me, "Oh, okay, there's something going on for mental health,
Yeah,
which is
yeah. I mean,
cool, which is
it's
good."
been insane.
Mm-hmm.
And again, knock on wood, that doesn't really affect me. I mean, I'm only child. Been a loner most of my life anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Not in a
Yeah.
sad way, just
No, it's just
I
how
can
you
handle
prefer to
being
be.
alone.
Me too.
Right? And it's you start seeing how many people we lost, from suicide
Yeah.
or just the virus itself, and
I don't think
it's
people
like,
really realize that 1% is a lot. I mean, to me,
yeah,
in the grand scheme of things, I look at it like that's really not a lot. But when you
right,
start learning about your neighbors and people in the music scene, like you're saying, or the art
shit, yeah,
circle, it's like, oh yeah, that's 1% of that is a lot.
it suddenly gets close,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I don't want to be in that I don't want
yeah.
anyone to be in that 1%. But
Hmm.
I especially don't want me to be in that 1%.
Yeah, I just the whole teaching thing. I don't know. Like I know, I had Chris Yee on. He's an art teacher and bass player for
Yeah,
Megahertz and the Good Times band, and I think
it's
another band.
funny. I'm an art teacher too, so
I've known you for years, and I gotta be
right.
honest, it's just not something that comes up.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
all right.
like I
Uh,
don't know. It's rude. I always feel like it's rude to ask like, what do you do for work?
yeah, that's okay. Hey,
You know,
whatever.
that's
Um,
cool. That's awesome. I
but
had no
yeah,
idea.
it's a wild ride.
So are
So
you when you work remotely? Are you using like drawing on a tablet and stuff? And
I make these videos, these cool, I think they're cool, these
mm,
cheesy videos. I go for like a hike on the property, and like I make these cool videos, and I go back to the house, I edit them, and it'll be like creating a collage from found objects
Okay.
or shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Very very hippie-ish, I guess
Do
you
you
could say.
mind saying the age range that you're teaching?
I teach kindergarten through fifth.
Okay, so yeah, I think he taught older
Yep.
because it was more whatever. But that's cool, man. So you've really found a way to. You're smart. You're smart. You're very good at like taking the situation and taking the advantage of it, right? That's good.
Yeah, I mean I've always been I don't know if that's a good quality or bad quality, but
Great quality.
I always try to take advantage of anything that I possibly can. Any
Mm.
opportunity that will present itself, I will try to take advantage of it if
Yeah.
possible.
Well, that's
You
been the
know.
theme on my shows. We're episode 12.
Mm-hmm.
So we've come a long way actually, and thank you for everybody that's been supporting and buying the merch and stuff. Um, but it's like the theme because of coronavirus and all these things. It's like people sink or swim heavily, and it's.
Right.
I feel like as a society, what this really is just appearing over the veil. Like it opened a little bit, and you're really the false security's been taken away, and people are taking advantage of it, or they're just drowning in it.
Right.
And
Right.
I don't know, like if not putting a personal touch to it, like humanity, it's like you really look at it without that, and you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
there's certain people that will, and there's certain people that won't.
Right.
But
Right.
obviously, we're human; we have to have compassion. But um,
Yeah.
people will take
No,
advantage of
it's
it,
true.
and I mean, I just so happen to luck out. I work in the industry where we're a major distributor of live streaming equipment. So
Oh, dope.
business has been booming, like and
Yeah.
I could have been making furniture or something,
All right.
but no one's
Right.
buying fucking furniture,
No, that's true.
So it's, but it's like you take advantage of things, and I think a lot of people are taking advantage over getting checks and stuff, and
Yeah. Yep.
unemployment and all
Yep.
these things, and it's I mean that's a different kind of taking advantage, but
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't qualify for any of that stuff. So
no, I
you
work.
know.
I'm a worker.
Yeah.
I've worked my
Exactly.
whole life. As soon as I could work, I worked.
Yep. Yep. No,
I
totally.
would have been miserable,
Yeah. I hear that.
But some people are content with that. So either you get a hobby or you don't, I guess, right?
Yeah,
For
that's
some.
true. That's true. In fact, I wish I had time for my hobbies. I just been
Hmm.
so engulfed in like just I don't know. I find
Life.
projects to do and just run with
Hmm.
them.
Yeah. I mean, well, so let's talk a little bit about Flak Jacket,
All right.
because there's a leap from Flak Jacket to Ambush Radio. I feel like, but it kind of coincides, like you were saying.
Right.
So you started in the '90s, and that was
Yep.
with you, Mark, and the Green Machine. What is
No,
it?
he came later on.
Later, or the Commander?
It
What
was
is it?
our original drummer Tom.
Tom.
He's
Okay.
actually in this band Panic Problem. People should check that out.
Cool.
But yeah, it was the three of us living together. Actually, before we were living together, Mark and I would always sit with headphones, a few beers, and a drum machine. And I got my guitar plugged in, and we would just sit there making noise and nonsense.
Cool.
And if we didn't have Flak Jacket, I mean, we would still be doing that anyway.
Yeah. Right.
But that's what we would do, and then it suddenly we were like had an opportunity to rent a house in our town,
Mm-hmm.
and Tom, also a longtime friend of ours, was living with us, and it was like he played drums. Militia obviously is a singer. I play guitar, and it was
Mm-hmm.
like, well, we have to have a band. We have to do
You
this.
have to
So
do it. I like that.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So we had it was cool. It was an interesting challenge for me in a good way. I came from another band called the Drens,
Mm-hmm.
this like 90s alternative band, but I was just the guitar player. I didn't write nothing. I wrote my parts and things like that, but I didn't have to think. I had to show up,
Right.
and that was it. And now all of a sudden I find myself living with these two extremely talented people,
Uh-huh.
and I'm thinking, fuck, what am I going to bring to the table here?
Mm-hmm.
So but it was cool. It made me like have to step up my level of you know
Your skill. Yeah, I did the same
yeah,
thing with Knox Called. I
right.
was a young kid that I haven't played in years. I was like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Right, yeah. And I'm like, oh shit,
I made a
we're gonna
mistake.
we're gonna write our own music. Uh-oh, I don't know how to do that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But you find it in you when you have the right people around you to inspire you,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm grateful for them for that. And that's what we did. So basically, we had a couple of tunes already written, and now that we had incoming, now that we
Yeah.
had uh, all of us together, we're like, all right, now let's make these songs happen, because they
Mm-hmm.
were just kind of on paper or just on a drum machine, with Mark and I on a 4-track or something like that. So we created a studio down there similar to the Hooch. This one was called the Bunker,
So that's kind
and
of what you
we
do,
recorded our first record.
so you guys have been independent like that. You've always done that. You're like,
Always DIY. Yeah,
that's
you
cool,
know
man.
why?
That's
And
important.
that's kind of like my attitude in life is I don't want to rely on anyone,
Yeah.
to get me to where I want to be, because you might be waiting a long time or you might not, but
Mm-hmm.
doing it yourself, action now.
It's rewarding too.
Right, right. That's
And
absolutely it. I
you're
mean,
mastering skills that
it's
you don't have to
it
pay someone
was
for necessarily.
a fun process.
Mm-hmm.
Now I would be lost. This is we were recording just as it was going from analog to digital, and making that jump was a little bit painful for me. But it wasn't yet onto laptops and computers. It was like I still had faders and buttons, and
Right.
I'm an old man,
I like
so
that stuff too. I have
so
a little mixer here that it has that.
right. That's a lot of
I
how I have to
like
roll.
hardware. I have
Right,
two mixers. They're all hardware. I don't.
right.
I hate clicking buttons on the computer. It doesn't feel real.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know what to fucking click.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
so we did that,
Mm-hmm.
and it was wild. We busted out our debut self-titled record,
Right.
and it was fun. I played all the guitar and bass on that one, and because we didn't have a bass player for the band, we never thought that we'd be taking stuff out, playing it. We were just making it for ourselves and nobody
Right.
else. And yeah, we did it. And then what happened was the way Flak Jacket became, I guess, an actual entity playing out band was at the time in the 90s, there was, which I think they still have the paper, the Good Times newspaper,
Good
and like
times.
the music paper
Mm-hmm.
for Long Island. And they were having the Good Times Music Festival. And it was like, send your demo tape here, see if you have what it takes.
Right.
And so fuck it, I sent it in thinking there's no way they're gonna like ask us to like join this thing. And we got the fucking call. They're like, yeah, we want you to play. We're
That's
like, we
cool,
don't even have a
man.
fucking band.
Yeah, that's like real quick. That was like Joe Watt. What was
Yeah. I
when he
can't
did
think of the guy's
Woodstock?
name. But yeah, there
Yeah.
was very, very prominent Long Island music scene name guy,
Mm-hmm.
Joe Corolla or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name, but yeah, so we had to now start pulling people together.
That's
On the
so great.
record, there's a rhythm track and a lead track. So it's like shit. Now we got to get another guitar player, and we got to get a bass player. So
Mm-hmm.
we recruited. Mark came from a band, Naked Lettuce, and him and old drummer Tom was in that as well. So we acquired their bass player and guitar player, and kind of became a morph of Naked Lettuce and Flak Jacket.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I love the
and
way you talk. You said required,
yeah, yeah,
and
I make up my own
when
words
the dogs
sometimes.
were
So
you're like incoming.
yes,
I love it, man. It's cool. It's like you really are the brand. It's not just a brand. It's like you guys really put your personality into Flak Jacket. And I think that's so cool.
that is the biggest compliment one can get. Because as ridiculous as
Mm-hmm.
we are like that.
Yeah, it's
Like that
fun, dude.
we're like that. If you were to see us just hanging out, we're pretty much
Yeah,
always like that. And it's funny that you say that. And again, that's a huge compliment to receive. We had this guy filling on drums for us once. We were doing some show, and that we couldn't say no to, but our drummer could have been the Green Machine at the time, who couldn't do it, and we
okay.
just couldn't turn this gig down. So we got this guy Gurge. He was in Warm
Gurge.
Needles, and I forgot that other band. I can't think of the name of them off the top of my head. But he came down to our studio one night because we were rehearsing. We're like, well, look, just come down and tell us what you think. And
Right.
he sat in with us, played with us, and he was like, I can't believe you guys are really like this. I thought when I saw you guys live, it was just an act.
Oh,
He goes, but you guys are really this fucked up. I was like, yeah, of course we are, you know. But I was like, nice, I'm doing something right, you know.
ugh, you
And
guys are so great live. What was it? 89 North. I came to check you guys out, and your amp went on fire.
oh yes, yeah, that was a doozy.
I mean, you
Uh,
guys just handled it so well. You guys are just so awesome. The
yeah,
lives,
you know, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna cry about it or what?
it just played. Let it be on fire. Fuck
So
it.
just yeah, exactly. And I figured, you know what, which actually just proved my point in my head. I figured, well, at least that'll give people something to remember, you know, and they won't
Yeah.
remember how bad we were. They're gonna remember that my amp went on fire. So
Yeah. No, you guys stop, man. You guys are great. I love it. It's just a fun time. Um, it's like when I was listening to some of these tracks, which I want to talk about the track we played in the beginning.
yep.
These new, never heard tracks before, fresh off the presses.
Kind of, yeah. I've been sitting on them for longer
Mm-hmm.
than I should have been. But yeah, we got some tracks. Want me to
Mm-hmm.
go into all that now?
Yeah, it's like fun, angsty, just like don't worry about life. Let's just
Yeah,
have fun for a moment. So we play. What was the track that we learned?
you heard unspecific directions. That was interesting thing about that one. That was one that Mark came to the table with.
Mhm.
He way back in the day strummed up those notes on the guitar and was like, "This is kind of what I got," and then we just made that into a kick-ass song. And
Right.
so yeah, unspecific directions. That's an older song that we have. But when we were given the opportunity to record, which was phenomenal to achievement for me personally. We we were able to go into the studio with the Bouncing Souls guitarist Pete Steinkopf.
Mm,
He has a studio in Asbury Park, New Jersey, called
mm,
Little Eden, and just luck would have it that over the years, from seeing them so much and like getting to know them a little bit, and just
mm-hmm.
talking to him, and he was like, "Come to New Jersey, man. I'll record your shit for you."
So cool, man.
So it was like it was wacky. It
Mm-hmm.
was a wacky experience. I mean, for me, that's like my all time favorite band, and um, being in the same room with one of your idols who is also a guitar player, and you
Yeah.
have to stand next to him and play a guitar solo or
Mm-hmm.
do things like that. It's like, oh shit,
Did you
you
get
know.
to? Did he give you advice, or did he like give you ideas? And
No, he let us be us,
cool.
and the only thing he did, which I'm like so I hate using the word stoked, but I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
use it. I was so stoked for
Uh-huh.
was my sound that I think is my sound.
Right.
He was like, I'm just gonna, can I fuck with your amp a little bit? And he was like, here, I want you to use my amp, and I want you this and that. And I'm like, hey, whatever, man, you're fucking get the beat, go for it.
Cool.
And
Very
what
cool.
gives me such a boner,
Mm-hmm.
and that doesn't happen naturally too often for me.
Mm-hmm.
What gives me such a boner was on some of the tracks, my guitar sounds like the fucking Bouncing Souls guitar.
Oh, that's
You
cool,
know,
man.
so
That's
not that
cool.
you want to sound like somebody else, but hey,
No, but it's like paying homage. It's like,
yeah,
hey, this is
uh,
a big influence on me. I'm happy to have it.
yeah, it was phenomenal. So anyway, so we did three songs with
And
him.
this
You
is
just
a
heard one of them.
three-song EP.
Yep.
Is this being released anytime soon?
As
People
a
can
matter of
grab it, or?
fact, when the start of this pandemic, I
Mm-hmm.
thought, all right, now's a great time to release it.
Right.
And I have put together something. I actually just recently put together some cover art for it. I'll
Cool.
have to run some stuff by Militia before I do anything, but I have a concept, and
Mm.
yeah, I'd like to get this thing out about now.
Cool.
Maybe
Well, I look
um,
forward to grabbing a copy.
yeah, well, definitely we're gonna get that out, and I don't know. Mark is probably inside watching this right now, and this will be the first he's going to hear of this. But or maybe I've said it to him drunk one night. But music video. That's where I want to go next.
Oh, I don't. Is there Flak Jacket music videos? I haven't.
We have just like live shit that people have
Mm-hmm.
done for us at like Even Flow and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
that's all cool. I like having that.
Yeah, but
Um,
not like something directed and planned.
right, and like again, going to the DIY thing. It's of course it's easier having someone do things for you, but it's
Yeah.
also not free, and you're
Yeah.
relying
Yeah.
on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Having had to teach online and like make my videos, I kind of got a little hand in on some of the editing and things like
Yeah, you
that. And I'm
mentioned
thinking,
your
shit, I
editing.
got the time, I got the
Mm-hmm.
programs. Maybe I should just start fucking making a music video, you know?
Now, with some of these lyrics that you have,
Yeah.
what is the story gonna be like? And what song? I mean, this. I love like put a pentagram, tattoo a pentagram on my ass. How's
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Who's writing these lyrics?
That would be
Culmination.
Militia.
Okay.
Militia is the word man,
Mm-hmm.
and that guy he's always amazed me with just we can be in the studio, we'll be dicking around together, and he'll just
Uh-huh.
start like freestyling, busting some shit out, and we're like, oh shit, we got a fucking song,
Quick,
you
record
know?
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Write it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So
but yeah,
what are you gonna do?
I don't know. I just, I think it's always a safe bet to go with guns,
Guns are good.
things like that.
Yep.
USA stuff.
Okay, good. America.
Exactly. We're all about
Mm-hmm.
America.
Yeah.
Not saying any political side, just saying America.
Well, it shouldn't
Uh,
fucking be political. I'm tired of this shit.
you
You
know,
shouldn't be.
my opinion is worthless. Everyone's got their own thing, and everyone's
Yeah,
got
but
their
this is the
beliefs, and
country we live in. It should be good.
yeah,
It should always be looked at as like that's great.
and you know what? It again, not to like speak my age,
Mhm.
but when I was younger, you disagree with somebody, big fucking deal.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
There's I know a million people right now, especially in our music
Mhm.
scene, who I know, for a fact think opposite of me
Mhm.
and this and that, just because everyone airs their fucking political laundry on Facebook and shit like
Of
that, which
course. Well, where
I do
else
not
would you
do.
put it?
But if someone thinks radical or opposite of me, I could
Mhm.
give a flying fuck. We
Yeah.
connect on the music thing, and we connect as people, and that's all I, really judge people about. Now, of course, if you got someone who's like outwardly like racist and
Oh
things like
yeah, like
that,
a
now you're
radical.
crossing a
Mhm.
different line there. But as far as like people who they want for the president or whatever, I don't give a shit. It doesn't affect me what
Yeah.
people want, and they can think what they want.
I
So they're
think the
wrong, but I'm just joking.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, fuck them.
I'm kidding.
I think that the major difference nowadays is that there is no well, there is common ground, but people choose not to find it.
Right, and I just find that like Facebook and shit like that gives people
The
the
illusion of
fuel
safety.
and to like get even like angrier with each other,
Yeah.
and because it's no longer now just having to look somebody in the eyes and tell them that they're wrong.
Mhm.
It's like you're doing it from your living room,
Yeah.
and things can escalate, and lies get spread, and it's just a shit
It's
sandwich
weird. I
basically.
don't live that way, you know. I just
Right.
can't. I'm a grown man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really what I look at. I mean, like it was like 4th of July and I was just seeing people like posting memes like happy 4th and then it cut it off and said no, we don't do that here and I was like I'm going to and I never do this, but I was like
Oh, you're the man, dude. Thanks.
but
I got waiter service here.
nice. I was like I'm unfriending this person. I did it like for like 7 people. There he is.
We got Militia in the
What's
house.
up, man? All right. And it was like so bizarre to me. I was like, I don't know. It was just weird. It was people of all different genders and age groups that were doing it. And I was like, I don't understand the mindset behind that. It's like
Right,
people
right.
wake up every day and they purposely, I want to be divisive and divide. It's
Yeah,
weird. I
yeah.
think it's a brainwashing from the media, personally.
There's
You
a lot
know?
of that going on, from all sides,
Hmm.
and it's kind of a shame. I mean, like I'm nervous for the future of this country. I don't
Yeah.
know what it means, and I again, I don't want to really get too much of my opinion here because it
Yeah,
doesn't
we
really
can.
matter. But I think that people are taking for granted how young we are as a country compared to the rest of the world,
Yeah.
and how I don't think it is impossible to completely upset this country as we know it
Hmm.
and have a civil war or have something, drastic, and then it's the people themselves that really made that happen, not our leaders.
Yeah, and it's like check out this little veil that we're seeing, we're peeping through it and it was like,
Right,
oh, everything got a little disturbed, but we're fine.
right.
But who wants to just be fine? I don't understand that. Like we need to heal. We need some healing. But anyway, that's why we have awesome, fun, entertaining bands like Flak
Right, right.
Jacket, you
And
know.
we you'll never really hear us.
Hmm.
Maybe we'll do it subliminally,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
but we never get
yeah. Hmm.
political with our stuff. We slip certain things in here and there undercover, but we're we don't take ourselves too seriously
Yeah.
because you can have life yanked from you in a second,
Sure.
and you know it's all about the fun, and let's do this while we can. Let's have fun. There's nothing I despise more, and I don't, and I fully respect people for their choices and what they
Hmm.
want to do with their music career and whatnot. Hey, knock yourself out.
Hmm.
But I can't stand when people start getting political with their stuff. That's just me, but
Yeah.
I look for music as an escape, and things like that,
Escapism.
and
Yeah.
I don't want to have somebody lecturing me from their nice $1 million mansion,
Stay
telling me,
inside. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
shut up,
Hmm.
just fucking play your guitar or do what it is that you do good, and don't try to teach me or change my mind on things. So,
Yeah.
but
But I mean,
that,
so you guys are kind of somewhat political because you are a punk band. That's kind of at the roots of it. In a more
yeah,
rebellious
it's
nature, you're
funny,
trying to
right?
upset things a little bit. But I think it's good. I love the escapism that it provides, and I think that's
Right.
something that people look down on these days. Where it's like, well, you don't believe anything, you don't have anything going on. It's like, well, dude, maybe I just want to sit here and play a video game, or just fucking have a fire, or listen to some punk music, or
Right.
whatever.
And
You
you
know,
have every right to do that,
yeah, I don't.
and that's yeah, it's that again, that's where this the temperature of this country is just out of control. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
people think that now if you're silent, you're speaking in your silence, and it's like, no, I just fucking want to keep my shit
Yeah,
to myself,
maybe I
and
fucking worked all week. I have to pay off medical bills because my kid got sick, and whatever it is, whatever
right.
real Americans are going through, not whatever.
Yeah.
It's just people that are working hard and just trying to get through the day. Maybe just want to have some fun in their life. They don't always want to be
Yeah.
consumed with divisiveness. And I also think there's a lot of mental health issues that we don't even acknowledge as a society, where it's like people are just so fucking far gone in this
Right.
stuff that it's like a plague. It's like another disease. It's like so infectious. It's like they just
Right.
live in
Right.
this negativity. Um, so, ooh, that was. How
Wow.
about
Wow.
yeah? How about we check out another song and then we'll
Yeah.
come back.
Let's
What would you like? We have Hero.
let's let's do. I'm gonna, since we're in the middle of the show here,
Mhm.
this is going to. Again, I haven't spoken to the band, but I think it's safe to say they would probably agree. This I'd like to be the hit single from the EP coming out. This is called "Fire When Ready."
Awesome. I love this one. All right, I'll see you in a second.
Roger.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. We're not live or anything, dude. Don't worry
Yeah,
about
no problem.
it.
Militia and I were just talking about
Yeah.
how he wanted to scare me coming out with the bandana, and
Yeah,
we
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
realize my dog was going to have a
Yeah.
problem with that.
Is that a full a 5 point German Shepherd? Shepherd?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
a full German Shepherd. His name is
Mm-hmm.
Major, and
Of
to
course.
my left here,
Mm-hmm.
I have another German Shepherd right
There
there.
you go.
That she's just like 6 7 months old. She's Chopper.
Chopper.
Chopper,
Get the little
Major,
chopper.
and right over here, my
Oh,
golden retriever, and her name is Scout.
there you go. Look at
No
that.
theme there.
There you go. It's the branding.
Uh huh.
It's
See,
forever. You're just corporate. Come on.
totally. Yeah.
So tell me about this track, Fire When Ready.
Fire when ready. That one, I love that song,
Mm-hmm.
and it just actually Fire when ready. There was I just remember sitting in the studio in the hooch one day. I'm always thinking of like military terms that I could,
Mm.
make into a song, and then instantly Mark and I were like, "Fire when ready," and we need to have a song now called "Fire when ready." And
Mm.
uh, luck would have it that I was able to bust out that music for it, because it doesn't always come easy for me. And that one, I don't want to toot my own horn,
Mm-hmm.
but I have two or three accomplishments songs wise under my belt that I look at and go, shit, how did I do that? Because I'll never do that again,
Right, 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 right.
and one of them right there would be Fire When Ready. I'm proud of that one. So yeah, so that was just a song written around a title, which a lot of times we do that. And again, we took it to New Jersey. It was fairly new at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and we left there, or at least I left there, like with holy shit, I can't believe how good that song came out. That might be my
Yeah.
new favorite song, you know.
Did you guys just nail this all in like it was like one day of recording?
Uh, all the music, yes, we nailed right away. In fact, I want to say we're listening to it in the order they were recorded. We walked in there, and my nerves were a little shot. Here we are, we're at fucking Pete's house in Asbury Park, and not
Mm-hmm.
only that, I'm looking around the place, and like the Bouncing Souls, also a DIY band, and like their music videos are all like film. A lot of them are filmed like right there on the boardwalk in Asbury Park where we're
Mm-hmm.
standing. And in this house where we're now standing and recording, and I'm like looking around, and I'm like, I fucking know this room, like that kind of
That's
shit. It was
so cool.
wild. So like I was all fucking tense,
Mm-hmm.
but beers helped that situation very quickly.
I'm sure, yeah.
But
Shots.
yeah, so we did it all in one take. We pretty much all of them in one take for the most part.
Yeah.
We did Unspecific Directions first because that was one of our oldest at the time, and that one we can probably
You
do in
knew
our sleep.
it, you warm up, knock it
Right.
out. I don't think people
So
realize what the process is of recording. It's not what people think it is. I don't think
right, right. No, it's so true. It's so true. And
you might play the
uh,
same thing 50 fucking times and then use the first take. I forget who I was talking
exactly.
to about that. Somebody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's recording is a dangerous thing
Mm-hmm.
because, and actually that is my beef with recording today.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to sound like a jackass old man,
You
but
damn
I am
kids
gonna
don't
for a second there.
understand.
Kids have it too easy these
Oh, they have
days.
it too easy, uh-huh.
Because you can sit there and manipulate a note
Yeah.
that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You can manipulate your voice. You can do whatever it is you need to do. You
Yeah.
can punch through a guitar solo, for 45 minutes and take every other note that's right. And
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden it sounds like you're fucking Eddie Van Halen. Like that bugs me. That bugs me.
Yeah.
Hey, and it doesn't bug me in the sense that I have a problem with people doing it. Hey, technology's
No,
rolling. You
but
move with technology.
think of
Uh,
it this way: they're not getting the same experience.
right. I mean, I remember my first quote big production recording
Mm-hmm.
was at this other studio called Waterworks. It was
Mm-hmm.
actually a pretty big studio in the '90s. Uh, Ironically, this favorite band of mine at the time, Jawbox, was there recording, and we're in this small, cheaper room recording. And I mean, like, time is money. And,
Yeah.
sometimes you're like, oh, that cymbal sound didn't sound right. Or, oh, my voice cracked here. It's like, well,
Right.
too
That's
bad.
50
It's,
bucks right there just to go back. I get it. It's
you
the
know,
time
that
because
one thing,
people.
go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
Go
so
ahead.
I think I'm cutting you off, but it's just like, the days of having to go and spend hundreds of dollars to get a couple hours in,
Right.
and then try to figure out something else, or like you might work on an album for a year, not because you're fucking the Beatles and you're trying to get a goat recording of, you know what I mean? Like it's some
Right.
crazy
Right.
exotic thing. It's just you just don't have the money to spend. So now you can kind of just do it.
Right. And that
It's,
aspect, I mean, again, you can't fight technology, you got to
mm-hmm.
roll with it.
Yeah.
But I will only let myself get into it. I like to stay on the outskirts. I don't want to
Yeah.
become one of these people that starts like overanalyzing my music, and hey, we all want to represent ourselves in a good way.
Yeah.
We all want to sound good. We all have that in common. But at what point are you making yourself not sound like you anymore, and you're being
Mm.
something you're not?
That's a
You know?
great point. You think maybe it's causing people to be perfectionists to the point where, like, I mean, I know, like, if I start doing something and I'm just by myself, like, most people probably will never see any of the stuff that I do because it's just like,
Right.
it's all right here in my living room. I don't have any pressure if I'm spending money on this. I don't
Right.
have people coaching me or helping me. It's just like, and then you get, what's this little thing? And then you spend fucking 10 hours learning about this. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I
So
could I could
there's the
see
back
it
and forth.
becoming an addiction,
Mm-hmm.
and for me, and I pretty positive I'm speaking for the other guys.
Mm.
That's not what we're about. We're a bunch of dudes.
Mm-hmm.
We're imperfect. We're
Yep.
idiots. And there's
Same.
no reason for us to pretend we're not. You
Yeah,
know.
and I gotta tell you, this sounds great. I, It's probably one of the cleanest tracks that I've heard.
Yeah, it really did.
So
Thanks to Pete for that. But yeah, and there's no hidden production on that. I'm proud to say that's us. That's us raw.
yeah.
We recorded everything live,
Hmm.
and
So
then
when you
just
record every, go ahead. I'm sorry.
we did go back. We did go back over it.
Hmm.
I think I did do all solos I did separately,
Hmm.
and that was it. Being a one guitar band, it's a little easier. It's one less thing you got to worry about, another
Hmm.
guy, and um, so yeah, we blast out the music in one day, and then I want to say the following day we just did some vocals, and we were out.
There's definitely layers to the tracks, but it seems so organic. I guess it would be a
Yeah,
good word. It just seems
that's
like I just rolled up to like my buddy's garage and he was just playing with his band and having a good time. I mean, it sounded epic. It sounds
right,
great. Not to
right.
take away from, it's not, that's not the picture I'm trying to
No,
paint, but it was
totally.
like, this is cool. Like I'm just in it immediately. Like I listened to him today and I was like, I'm in
Nice,
it. And I was
nice,
upset that there was only three.
nice,
So I busted
nice.
out this Flak Jacket signed,
Hey, yeah. Oh, I miss those.
CD from the Hooch. I know it's backwards
Yes.
here, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
this bad boy right here.
That
Um,
was all self-recorded and yeah, produced and everything.
Fire when ready is the second track.
Yep.
Unspecific directions is the first. I mean, it was. Thank you for this. I've kept it. I don't even know how long ago you gave this to me.
Nice.
Yeah, man. But it was a good feeling music, and it's just so nice. You know, it's just so nice, and it was well done. It
Well,
sounds.
that's our goal. That's our goal. Is
Hmm.
just we're putting us out there, and that's who we
Yeah,
are.
and live
We,
shows are so fun. I mean, I love Megahertz. I love Flak Jacket. There may be a couple other bands I'm forgetting, but like honestly, when I think of Long Island music, those are my two spots.
right.
Right, those are the two spots. I because I had fun. I have fun at your shows.
That's what it's all about.
Hmm.
It's we don't want to go out to a show and have a bad time.
No, and it
Uh,
was like I think it worked well with Knox Colt because you guys were like running in the bathroom while someone was taking a shit,
right.
playing
Right.
and like
That's
running around and like getting on the bar and like doing all this stuff and like it was just fun and like you could sing to it. You didn't even have to know the
right.
words. You
Right.
just
Yeah. It's so true.
fucking yell shit
It's
out
so
and
true.
yeah,
We
it's
we
cool,
we
man.
enjoy that, and
Hmm.
that's what we're all about.
So this is a very explosive thing when you do it live. So how does that translate out to when you're doing your ambush radio?
Um, it just you know what, I roll with it again.
Hmm.
Like I have like an old school state of mind, and to me, I want things to go wrong. I want
Sure.
things like that to happen, and
Hmm.
um, I think it's a blast. I mean, I really really enjoy the ambush radio thing.
Hmm.
Um, I wouldn't say that I love it more than being in a band,
It's a
but
different
you
kind of
know,
feeling, right?
right. I'm still in it, and I'm still working with musicians, and I feel like I don't know. It just kind of completes me. Not to sound like Jerry Maguire or something stupid, but it
Hmm.
completes like the whole music experience for me.
Yeah.
Being able to be on both sides of the fence,
Hmm.
uh, making music to talking about somebody and their process. And it's wild how you get to talk to a lot of people,
Learn.
and you learn so many things, and we're so similar in so many ways, and it's happening.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'm actually in a spot right now with the whole call-in thing, which
Hmm.
it's just there for my taking, and I have to start taking advantage of it and
Hmm.
making it happen. But we got some cool people lined up, some fairly, to me, big names that
Cool.
want to do some radio stuff. And I got to be honest, there's times where I'm just kind of like hiding in my room with my thumb up my ass, being like, oh my god, I can't call them. I can't call the singer for the Bouncing Souls.
Oh,
I
do
can't.
it.
I can't, but at the end of the day, if I
Mm.
don't, I'm gonna look back 10 years from now and be like, motherfucker, I should have done that.
Yeah, you're
So
not the type, dude.
yeah.
You're
So one
not
of
the
these
type.
days,
You're definitely a fucking like, I'm gonna do this shit.
I try because I haven't always been like that.
Hmm.
And cliche, but there's nothing worse than living with regret. I
Yeah.
have so many things that I look back on that I could have done that I never tried.
Mm-hmm.
Anything from girls to,
Mm-hmm.
jobs or colleges, and I
Sure.
just pushed out, took the easy way to sit back, and then you look back when you're older and be like, I should have banged her, or this or
Yeah,
that,
no, I
like
get
that
it.
kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
yeah. I mean, I recently reconnected with an old friend, and we were going through stuff, and like some of the stuff that I've done just came up, and they were
Right,
like, "A fucking course you did." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "You're the only person I know that would go and do X, Y, and Z."
right,
And I'm
right,
like, "Well, what do you mean?" To me, it's just this is my life. These are the things I've done.
right, right.
But I guess for some people don't do that. They just don't take
Yeah,
risks.
yeah. I like
Uh,
to smell the roses, and I like to
yeah.
experiment with anything, and and if something isn't working out, I have no problems quitting. So that to me, if your a path you're going down isn't going,
Yeah.
leave,
Yeah,
turn
yeah.
around, go back, and find another path.
Yeah, and I've been really working hard on myself, and I'm sure the viewers, which we should probably, if you don't mind, do you mind if we give some shout outs? We haven't done it yet.
No,
Okay,
knock
cool.
yourself out.
All right, so we have Mama Fox. He's a VIP member. Thank you very
Uh
much
huh.
for tuning in. John K, thank you for watching. Silver Fox, thank you very much for tuning in.
Yay!
Another VIP member. Charlie Thurman, thank you for tuning in, man. I'm glad the operation went well, and thank you for the theme music. He was our first guest ever from Charlie Thurman of White Houses. Cool guy. Let's see. Jay Ing, thank you, and hi to Randy. Let's see.
Randy,
Ellen Hurst, thank you very much for tuning in. She's a VIP member. Gary
nice.
Patan, we're gonna try to get you on the show soon. We're almost there. And Chris Yee, thank you for watching. He was like episode 7, pretty sure.
Bass player,
Bass player and art teacher from
Roger.
Megahertz.
Got
Yep, with Brent Hertz and all them guys. He actually says, "Cool, another art teacher. Wow, I didn't know. We should talk."
yeah.
There you go. John Joseph, thanks for watching. Mark,
Flow.
there you go. Thank you for watching. And Cynthia, thank you very much for checking out the show. And I've noticed we've gone from like 9 to 15 people, so
Hey,
we're doing all right.
that's awesome. A little quick story
Mm-hmm.
about one of your listeners there.
Yeah, I
Um,
saw him on your
the
website.
the best birthday present I got this year was a note from Silver Fox saying that he typed one word, remission, and that was the best thing I could have heard.
Wow, cool, man. That means a lot to me. To hear that, that's really
Psyched to
cool.
hear that.
Yeah, shout outs to Silver Fox. We did a benefit show, and that was really cool, man. Thank you for being a part of that, and
That was wild.
that was really cool. Knox Colt reunion. Um, man, I love that guy. He's my father, for everybody to
Uh-huh.
know.
Uh-huh.
Silver Fox. But he's going strong, man. He's a tough guy. Fuck.
Well,
You
I couldn't
know?
be happier to hear that. So
And how cool is that? He impacts people, man. He does.
yeah, I hear a guy I met that one day,
Mm-hmm.
and it really I thought about him all day on my birthday. I was like,
Wow. How cool is
best
that?
best news I got.
Dude, that makes me feel good. Thank you for, we all touch each other's lives, and I think that's the theme of today's show.
Yeah,
I always pick out a theme for every guest.
touching each other,
Yeah,
definitely.
touching each other. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But no, it's so true though. I think about this very often. I'm always grateful for the people that I have in my life. I'm
Mm.
grateful. I got my best friend, and I think of all the people that I've met in music.
Right.
And we have like our all new episode people. I mean, there's so many. I could sit
Sure.
here and name names all day.
Yeah.
You guys,
Mm-hmm.
all these people that I've met and who I've just grown to love, and we all have the same bond. And again, going back to the non-political nonsense, I know none of us probably see eye to eye, or we're on opposite sides of things, but none of that matters.
Yeah.
We're all together for music. We have the same love, and we're passionate about it. And it doesn't matter what you go home and believe in, or what you're fucking when you're going home.
Yeah.
We're all together,
Yeah.
and I'm grateful for all the people I've met.
Mm.
And it's just been a wild ride, and I hope it's not over. you know, but who
No,
knows?
got time,
So
bro. What wise words. I feel like that really is what America's about. Is the fact
totally.
that there is common ground. We've been built on the common. Like there's differences.
Right,
It's
right.
healthy to have differences.
Stop sitting in your living room yelling at somebody for their differences and go out there and go
Yeah.
fishing with them or something, or go smoke a bowl together.
Just
Do
yeah,
something,
hang
you
out,
know?
have a beer, fucking throw a
Exactly.
football.
And then you're going to see that you can sit and laugh
Mm,
together, and that shit doesn't matter. It doesn't matter
doesn't.
because we're all going to be gone, and it doesn't
Just
really matter.
dust. We're just gonna be fucking dust, and then it really won't matter. And
Right,
it's
right. You
if
know, and you're going to
other.
sit and spend your energy
Mhm.
hating on somebody, you know,
I'm not.
whatever.
I'm definitely not because I have way too much shit to get done.
Right.
It's I'm not
Exactly.
investing my time, which is a precious commodity, on
Right.
people that I don't want to invest it on or ideas I don't want to invest on. And I don't understand. I don't want to keep going into that, but
Right,
the
right.
point is there is common ground between every person, race, thing. If you identify sexually as a toaster, you know what?
Yeah, hey,
Go for it. Just
enjoy.
don't take a bath. I
Exactly.
don't know.
Exactly. I might not fuck the toaster myself,
Right. I
but
mm-hmm.
doesn't matter. You know, I might try, but
I think that's part of it, right? Just try
yeah,
to
you
fuck
know,
everything. Okay.
I've fucked many
This is the
appliances.
most R-rated show I've had. So cheers.
Nice. Good.
Appreciate it, man.
I'm glad I could be part of that.
Ooh. What's that you say? Well, yeah, we do have mugs actually. And
That's insane.
there's a link
That's
in the
insane.
description. We actually have a hoodie, a t-shirt, and a mouse pad. But the mug is my
Wow.
favorite. Yeah, the mug's my favorite.
I think we're gonna have to jump on that bandwagon ourselves.
It's
So
important, yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. People want to take you home.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. You know, I think a nice ambush radio mug would be nice.
Sign me up.
So
I will definitely get some.
excellent,
You know,
excellent.
and I definitely want to have you back on the show, and hopefully it's like in studio when you're back,
Yeah,
not hiding
shit,
in the
yeah.
bunker. Um, I was trying to think. We did the show at Crooked Rail, and we played it. Oh, and then the Amatory Murder came and played. I was in a different band, and
Ah,
we played
yes.
together. And then they moved, and I went there with Silver Fox and some other people for TC Cross, her band.
Okay.
She
Yeah,
was
yeah,
playing
yeah.
with the Beatles thing. I forget what the name
Okay.
is. That's crazy. Crooked Rail, major upgrade. I mean, I kind of like the old one. No,
I like the old one, yeah, personally,
but you
and then
kind of have to do what you gotta do, I guess.
exactly, and then I guess even the new one went under. Um,
Did it
yeah, probably in like September or something like that.
before all this
Their
happened? Oh,
location
jeez.
they picked was horrible.
Yeah, it was kind of out of nowhere,
Yeah, and
next
like
to a
every bar
laundromat.
that's ever been there since the beginning of time never lasted.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they were just being over ambitious and thought
Damn.
that people would still travel and
I really
pe-
liked the family there and everything.
yeah, yeah, they're cool people. They're very much for the scene. It's a
Hmm.
shame it didn't work out,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Who's
how many times do you see that?
who's the door guy? Because he was kind of he wasn't giving me a hard time, but he was kind of like, right, you
Lenny,
know.
maybe Lenny.
And then I said, I forget what the fuck it. Someone said something, and he was like, "Wait, Fox?" And I was like,
Yeah, yeah,
"Yeah." And he was like, "I saw you play at blah blah blah," and I was like, "Cool." And he was like, "Oh, dude,
yeah.
come on in, man." I'm like blah blah. I was like, "What is going on?" Hey,
Yeah,
but they
yeah.
all remembered,
Right, right.
which
Yeah,
was
good
nice.
people. Good
Yeah, yeah.
people.
Do you know if they're doing anything else?
No, as
No.
of now they weren't. They were gonna try to get it going again.
Mm-hmm. Need a
But
smaller place. I think on Long
yeah,
Island is small. eh, Get a small place that can still hold a good show.
right, right. That's I'm interested to see what venues are gonna pull through this
Mm-hmm.
and what don't. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Beery's.
Right down the
What
street from me.
they did was they put out a like a best of, no, I wouldn't say best of,
Mm-hmm.
just a compilation of
Yeah.
all Mr. Beery's bands. If you've played at Mr. Beery's and you want to get on this compilation, get on it. And we're proud to be on it. It's something that people should check out. If you go to Mr. Beery's page, I'm sure you can find how you can get a copy of it. And this was their way of trying to save their establishment, to still pay their staff,
Mm.
and just $30 donation for this compilation, and they sold, you know, a tremendous amount of copies,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually, you know, purchased one myself. And it's wild just to put this thing on. There's got to be like 90 songs on it or something.
That's cool.
And just hearing a slice of, you know, our local scene,
Yeah.
uh, some people that we know, some we don't, and it's just wild, you know. And I'm glad that they did something to try to, you know, make sure that they're going to be here
They've
when
been
this
going
all is
hard.
over.
Been going real
But I'm
hard.
curious about like so many venues. I'm curious about like, you know, places like Amityville Music Hall and other smaller venues that you know, is that it for them or what? You know, who knows? And you know, places like, well, I guess places like 89 North will probably do well because I mean, they rely on the cover scene, which is a bigger money maker on our island anyway.
Yeah.
But you know, everyone's taking a hit during this, and these venues are taking it really hard. So who's gonna remain standing? You know, that's what I want to
And
see.
how long until venues become important again? I mean, not to,
Right,
you know, but everybody just thought like a month ago that we were all going to be like piling up again. And I kept saying, like, no, I don't think that's going to happen. I think even
right,
if if the powers that be, you know, the government or whatever was like, yeah, have at it, I still think people would rush out to go do something and then immediately feel uncomfortable
yeah,
and leave. And then it'll
yeah,
be a drop again. So it's
right.
like, I don't know what the answer is. It's like I know that I'm offering to, or at least I'm debating about it, offering to live stream at venues for pretty cheap, so that they can keep up their, you know, with like 25%. I think we lost you actually. It's all right. It's live, guys. This is what happens.
I was sitting in the sun, and
Mm-hmm.
all of a
Overheated.
sudden my iPad just said overheated.
Mm-hmm. You know,
So
I'm not a fan of Apple products.
uh huh.
I
So
know you use I don't know, what is it called? A shit and toss? iMac?
yeah, yeah. No, that's exactly, yeah.
I
I
don't know.
am an Apple guy.
That's
So
cool. So now we're actually in the pillbox.
yeah, now yeah, we're in Mark's
Oh,
foyer.
foyer. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
fancy.
So
What you did miss is, and I forgot to show it to you. I usually show it to the guests beforehand, but we were so enamored with Mark running around with a knife that we forgot.
yeah.
My father did a commercial for our merch.
I saw, I didn't hear it, but I saw him. We have another screen here, and I
Okay,
saw him
cool.
come on up.
Okay, cool. And this is the first recording, so of course something would happen. So I'll edit that out. So I won't even
Uh huh.
say anything else because now people know that we edited something. Unreal.
Right.
Uh, so hey, it happens.
So what were we talking about? I'm trying to even remember now.
I don't remember, but I
But
do remember going to the Hooch and blacking out because you guys had an open bar, which was very nice. And I feel like it's such a good
yes,
tactic.
yeah,
Hey,
we
have
try to
whatever you
get, you
want.
know, try
Yeah.
to get people to open up,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it's fun. Sometimes though, I will have a little too much myself, and then
Sure.
I listen back to shows and like, whoo, I cringe. But you know, again, I stay true to my. I'm not going to edit anything out, even though I might
Yeah.
hate how I sound, or if I said something maybe I shouldn't have. Hey, fuck it, you know, let it roll, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I get into the editing thing, then that's gonna be another whole thing that's gonna now suck me in, and they're trying to go for the perfect thing,
Yeah.
kind of what we were talking about with,
Mm-hmm.
you know, recording music, and that's not who I am. I'm not perfect,
Yeah.
you know. So, and I'm gonna say stupid shit.
Yeah, I do everything live, but I've been wanting to. I've been building up, buying the equipment, whatever, to be able to record it simultaneously. But the
Right,
live is still there. You can't undo a live. And I know
totally.
there's a couple shows. I mean, but the thing is, to my defense, like Trist and this guy Ty from Q to Pilot.
Hmm.
I mean, her show is 5 hours long, and his show is 7 hours long. So yeah, I'm
Right.
gonna drink, and I got a little buzzed up. But there was one or two shows where I'm like, all right, maybe I just drank a little too
Yeah.
much at the end, you know. But you learn, you keep going.
Right.
But yeah, I'll be able to edit something for YouTube for the archives here, but this will stay up. I'm pretty sure Facebook stays up forever.
Yeah, I would
I
imagine
don't know,
so.
you know, this is it. It happens live. But so yeah, the hooch, man. I was really impressed when I came down there. You guys had camo colored sound
Yeah.
absorbers and all that stuff,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
soundproofing. It was cool, man. It was such a cool thing with the black. It was like backlighting, and it was like I felt like I was really walking into a bunker. I mean, I feel like I don't know if they were real or not. I'm gonna say
That's
they weren't.
yeah.
But there was like grenades or something. I'm like, all right. Some dude's
Yeah, I
got
mean,
ammo boxes and shit.
we go for authenticity here. We
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
fuck around.
yeah.
So,
It's cool.
thank you.
So all right. So what? 2000 Flak Jacket. We talked
Yep.
about 90s Flak Jacket. So in 2000 Flak Jacket, what was the deal? How was it? What were you guys up to?
Again, we were going back to the good times thing.
Mhm.
We had entered this, music festival thing, and it was like, which is so stupid. It's like, the voting thing and this and
Yeah.
that. And I say it's stupid because we don't win shit like that,
So it's
but
stupid.
but so yeah, we're in this. We do this contest,
Hmm.
and I'm psyched to have a recording of it, audio. It was like electric. It was naughty,
Yeah.
and we got disqualified. Bam! Right out of the house, right out of the gate, we got disqualified,
For what?
and
Language?
just for being assholes,
Yeah.
And it
Okay.
was like my most proudest moment, my most punk moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, that was the second round. We went to like the semifinals, but the first show that we did was we lost. The other
Yeah.
band got more votes than we did, and that was it. We lost.
So weird.
I The funny thing was we lost by about 4 votes. And when we were discussing it later, I forgot to vote. Mark forgot to vote. Like, like, oh, one of those kinds of things.
I was gonna say the four people that were like, yeah, we'll definitely be there.
Yeah,
Never
exactly.
showed
And
up. You're
then
like, you fuckers. Yeah.
and then the crazy thing was, we got called back as a wild card. We're like, ah, shit, we got to do this again.
Yeah.
So, and then this time it was out at like the park bench, probably one of the biggest crowds I've ever played
The
to.
park
I mean, there
bench.
was thousands of people there, and we just took no prisoners, and there was no mercy on the
Hmm.
crowd, no mercy whatsoever. And they had asked us to stop playing, and I just felt like, one more song. So we just started playing. And then as soon as we were done, the judge comes up on the stage and he was like, "They're out. They're out. They're disqualified. We disrespected them. We went over our time. We did this. We did that."
Oh, wow.
And I felt like a hero.
Yeah, you should.
So I really
What?
won.
What kind of, yeah. What kind of show is that?
It was awesome.
Do you feel like a zoo specimen like that? That's not a show.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely.
It's so
It
weird.
was. It
It's one
was
of those
dumb.
things that people used to do.
But again, like I was proud that
Mm.
we didn't conform, and we just did our thing.
Yeah.
And and I think that made us more popular.
Yeah. No,
That
I'm sure you
yeah,
guys took some people home with you. Like,
everybody was all, I tried. Everyone was all like, shiny and squeaky clean, and had their perfect, sets down to the second. They had
yeah.
their speeches rehearsed, and here we are, like I'm wetting my pants on stage. And it was like one of those kinds of things,
Yeah. Ah, man, no, I'd rather see that than any of the other
So yeah,
bullshit.
it was a good time.
Okay, so you guys moved past that, and was that like a realization for you guys? Like, you know what?
Yeah, it was like, wow, this is wild. This is let's do this. And then we
Mm.
did that. We quickly went back to the studio. We wrote our second record. And it's funny. I mean, I listened to the second record, and it's so much different than the first.
Mm.
And I guess they say sometimes your second album isn't always your best, and we were going through shit just in terms of like some of us were like moving out of the house,
Mm.
and we were coming close to the end. Tom, our drummer, was moving to Florida,
Ugh.
and you can hear. I think you can. I mean, I also know the backstory to all the songs, but you could hear the shit going down in the songs, and we got some good stuff that came out of it. Um, but it was kind of sad in a sense, because it's like where you're
Closing.
watching the studio get taken down piece by piece, little by little, while you're recording, and then um,
Mm.
yeah, it was just done so differently than what we've always done, and the vibe, of us always being together and all for one. Now we're all kind of like separate and trying to record
Mm.
pieces here and there, and so that kind of stunk. And then what was kind of a bummer was that was probably, I'm just guessing, like 2003 or so at that point. And then we proceeded to hang it up for about 8 or 9 years or so.
Everybody split.
Yeah, everybody split. We all moved down to the house, and
Yeah.
I had just met my soon-to-be wife at the time.
Cool.
So like I was like, all
Doing
in
that.
that, and we were like buying a house, and Mark got his own place, and he met his now wife, and so we were all kind of in that transition,
Yeah.
and we really hardly saw each other for many years. Um, and it's funny, I would sit in my bedroom and be like, wow, I guess that was it. I guess that's just the way it goes. You do your thing and you're lucky to do it, and it's over. And yeah, and then it just kind of like came on again, like accidentally. I created the hooch
Mm.
in my new house, and started doing that. And the flow, if he's still out there watching, um, we knew each other, but we didn't know each other. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like I knew him through mutual friends, and we would just be like, "Hey," that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
saw each other, and then I saw him at our fireman's fair in town,
Yeah. Okay.
and I hadn't touched a guitar in years,
Mm.
and I'm like, "Hey, man, don't you play?" Because he had kids, babies at the time, and so did I. I just had a kid,
Yeah.
and I see him pushing a stroller through a crowd, and it was like, hey, don't you, you play, don't you? He's like, yeah, man, I play a little guitar. I can play bass. And I was like, here's my number. If you ever feel like doing something, give me a call, And he ended up calling me up. We sat in my basement, and we just were like, had a drum machine going, and we're just dicking around.
Yeah.
And then it was like, hey, I know that's from the Green Machine. I'm like, I know this guy who can maybe play drums, keep a beat for us if we want to screw around.
Yeah.
We had him come down, we're screwing around. And then I was like, hey, I wonder if Mark is, ready and up to it, if he wants to come on down and,
Right.
and start messing around. And the next thing you know, bam,
Yeah.
we were. And
Beautiful.
I I started researching like the Long Island scene, what it was at that time, and I don't even remember like what our first show was. Oh, our first show was that at 89 North, Militia? What was our first show?
Our first show was at the King's.
Oh, no, when we came back.
Yeah, that might have been at 89.
It might have been with Soda, and
So what's Soda doing at the time?
he was in
A motion picture.
a motion picture.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure that was our first one. If not, it was our first. Could have been our second.
I was wondering what the connection was between. I never knew. I never asked.
We we always would research the bands that we're going to play with on a bill. We do that to this day. Anytime there's a name we don't know,
Mm.
and we'll check it out. We like to listen, see what they're about. And when we saw that it was just like a guitar player and a drummer,
Yeah.
we're like, oh, there's no way that's going to be cool. That's gonna be a disaster,
Right. Until you
And
listen to 'em.
then when we saw it, we were like, holy shit. Couldn't Soda is I'm like one of his biggest fans. I think
Such a
that guy
cool
is
guy.
so talented. He's
Mhm.
so inspiring. And he is I've said this before about him on English radio. He's the real deal. He
Yeah.
is a true artist. He's a true musician all the way. And seeing him and Terry, the drummer, I mean, was a phenomenal drummer too. They both did their thing, but the way they held that together, the way they made that sound so big, and it was just two dudes.
Yeah.
I sat there with my jaw just sitting on the stage. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I can't believe they sound like this. And afterwards, I was like, I got to talk to this guy. We got to talk to this guy. This is. I want to tell him how awesome he is, and I want to just see what this guy's like, and we've been friends since.
That's cool. I know. I don't know if this is public knowledge, but I know Terry's background.
I did hear something like that off the air when we were talking at Ambush.
Uh-huh.
And I think I remember asking him, "Can I talk about that?" I could be wrong, but I think we
Mhm.
had the conversation, and he was like, "Let's just not talk about that yet."
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I just know I met the guy.
So
That's all I know.
right. So I was very happy to hear
Yeah.
that because you know I say this unofficially. I don't know, but I'm
Mhm.
assuming their relationship was maybe somewhat explosive. But sometimes that's a good sign. When it comes to creative
Hey, look
people
at
getting together.
Knoxville.
Right, exactly.
You know.
You guys were, and again, like you guys also, like
Mm.
just the each. I love it when a band has, and Knox was this, when each member of the band, you can watch them individually. Each member is powerful,
Mhm.
is talented, and
Thank
you
you.
could watch you could watch Monkey, you could just watch Soda, and you'd be mesmerized.
Mm.
You're it's not like some bands, you just focus on one member. Sometimes you're just focusing on the
The
singer or just the
singer.
guitar
Mhm.
player, and that's fine. That's there's a million bands I love like that.
Yeah, sure.
But when it's not an often thing where everybody is fucking
Yeah,
phenomenal
it's
and
a whole
everyone is
show.
mesmerizing, and you
Cool.
guys were like that. I mean, the energy you
Thank you.
guys had, the talent you guys have, and then just may Monkey rest in peace. I mean, just the
Yeah.
talent was just like crazy, and
Mm.
just it was just his birthday, wasn't it? Just recently, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. So,
I honestly
um,
don't know. Was it?
I think so. I want to say
I
like,
have no
yeah,
idea.
this past week or something.
Oh, geez. I didn't even know that.
Um, I
That's
think
how
so.
that's how we were so close, but yet so not.
Yeah,
It's
no,
so
I I
weird. It
I
was like such a weird thing, you
I
know.
totally see that, and
Mm.
having met so many bands now, makes me feel even more grateful for the situation I'm in.
Mm.
I've never been in a band with anybody but my best friends, and
Right.
for that period of time when Flak Jacket was done, and it was okay, let me go out and pursue
Mm.
music. I'm going out there, I'm answering ads, I'm meeting people, I'm playing with people,
Right.
and the level of uncomfortableness, and I met some nice people, but the level of of uncomfortableness playing with people, and what
Yeah.
if you're not a musician, you don't realize that it's not just can you play your guitar and play with me. It's you're forming a relationship, and a language and
That's
a
not
vibe,
spoken. Yeah.
and you're forming all these things that are going on. The music is such a small part of it,
Right.
and here I am making some decent sounds with people, but it was like nobody that I've had like a lifelong friendship with.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I'm in that situation. And I'm just trying to convince myself, like, oh no, I guess that's just how it is. I've been spoiled. And no, this is being in a band. And, you
Yeah.
don't always have to love everybody. But I just refuse to accept that. And thankfully, um, just as it was about to fall apart with these guys I was jamming with, I just fell right back into this. In fact,
It was
I
meant to
got I
be.
got the flow to play bass, with myself and these guys that I met,
Mm.
and we were supposed to jam that night, and like when you're sitting in your house dreading that you're supposed to get together later on that night, there's something wrong, and then I text Johnny Joe the flow, and I'm like, hey man, here's the deal, I'm gonna quit, okay, right now, and but just so you know, I'm not quitting you. If you still want to hang out tonight and play, come over.
Right. Right.
so
Right. Right.
so I quit, in a text, very classy,
Very
and
classy.
then he chimes in after me. He's like, yeah, this isn't working out.
Hmm.
And then we got together that night, and got Flak Jacket going again.
Beautiful. The way it's
So
supposed to be.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
funny. We played a show. We did our EP release show. I forget who played, but whatever. Played at Black 151. Did
Oh
that.
yes.
Killed the show. It was a good show. And then there's like a little awkwardness with me and Monkey like breaking stuff down, and then like he disappeared, and then we got
Yep.
a text at like 3 in the morning that was like, "I'm done." I was like,
Oh,
"Oh, okay."
Right, right. Yeah.
Sure, dude. Like, and that was just like the tip of the iceberg there. It was like very dysfunctional towards the end, but it's you're very fortunate to be able to continue with the people that you're comfortable with.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will never take that for granted.
Yeah, I would love to do some. I mean, we talked a little bit about doing something, just never came to life. I would love to do some with you if you're ever open to it, or I don't know. I'm
Hell
debating
yeah.
about getting back into playing just for fun. Do some
Definitely.
gigs.
I'm game.
Cool, man. Just do some fun stuff. Let's see. 3:30. You want to play your last track here?
Yeah, sure. Let's go for it.
Hero?
Let's do it. This is pretty much Fire When Ready regurgitated. We were going to kind of have these two songs attached to each other, sort of, because they kind of flow into each other.
Mm-hmm.
It was and yeah, Hero, and yeah, that's all. I don't even know. Again, it was just I don't remember how we came about it. I had the music, and Mark had some lyrics, and we just laid them together, and they worked.
Awesome. So this is Hero from Flak Jacket.
All right, rocking.
I love the bass work on that.
Right? That's again, I mean, of course, it's Flo's talented melodic fingering, but again, going back to the guitar sound that Pete gave me the Bouncing Souls guitar sound. He gave Flo the Bouncing Souls bass sound,
Cool.
Because we were actually in their studio using their gear.
Yeah.
And it was such a hard-on moment, for me to hear that and just be like, oh shit, this is like it's on.
Cool. Yeah, I had a similar experience. Well, not as cool, but our first gig with Knoxville, like I was a big Wednesday 13 fan. Because I was like all gothed out and shit, and life sucked,
right.
And,
I remember.
Yeah. And it was like 6 months we've been in the studio just working on stuff, with like kind of secretive, posting a little bit, And then I remember Knox Cult was playing, or Wednesday 13 was playing at Blackthorn 51, and I never even heard the venue because I'm a transplant from Jersey, so I'm like,
right, okay.
I have fucking no idea, which probably helped me navigate the scene. Right, because I didn't know anything about anybody, so
right,
like everybody was just nobody to me, so it was perfect. And I remember like, hey, Soda, Wednesday 13's playing. Would you want to go with me? And he was like, no. And I was like, oh, all right. And he was like, would you want to play with him? And I was like, huh? He was like,
wow.
Yeah. He was like, we're playing with Wednesday 13. And funny enough, too, not a lot of people realize this, but actually this band, Justin Symbol, opened for us.
Yes.
And that was the band that hired me and Soda to go on tour with them.
I saw that. That must have been a wild ride.
Dude, the tour?
Yeah.
It was called the Punishment Tour for a reason.
Yeah.
Fucking sucked.
Wow.
I had some good times. No. I had good times, but we were plagued with mechanical problems. I mean, at one point... let's see. I was sick as hell. We went from New York to Seattle for the first show. And I was sick all the way up until like Idaho or some shit. I don't even remember. And then played all the way back, and we were going down south, and the engine melted.
Ugh.
Yeah. So we were like stuck in Georgia somewhere. Missed like this really cool goth club. It's like heaven and hell. So it was like 3 different levels. It was like heaven, purgatory, and hell. I don't know.
Wow.
I missed it. It was like one of the coolest places on the tour. And then Enterprise was like, well, we don't have a van, but we can give you this pickup truck. So 5 people, right, in a pickup truck. And we were like 30% done the tour. So we had to go all the way down to Florida, play all the shows to Florida, play across America, go up, back to Seattle. It was like, fuck, dude. Tensions were high.
Right.
Between everybody. And then poor Monkey was left behind, and he was doing not left behind, but he was the cool thing is he built a whole recording studio in his top stairs to top floor.
Okay.
And so you were talking about the recording process a little bit, and I learned that Knox Cult was not a recording band. It was not working very well. At least we weren't working very well together.
Yeah,
You know,
some bands it works, some don't, some like it, some don't. So
and I
it's
feel like I was still too young to understand any, like I didn't know any better. Like
right.
you know, dude, you're a young guy, you fucking think you know everything.
Yeah, and life teaches you otherwise.
Oh man, I'm only 28 now, but like looking back, I'm like, yeah, I didn't know shit, dude.
Damn, I could be your dad. Nice.
Yeah, but I
I
feel
like
like,
it.
yeah, it's good. Hey, fuck it, you
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
trying to learn from all these different things. But yeah, it was it's the chemistry of a band is very important, and like I don't think people realize how vulnerable you have to get to play with someone. And like you can be an amazing player, you can be a better player than me and anybody, and
Right,
sit in a
right.
room and play all day, and then when you go actually meet somebody, it's not what you think it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's
You know,
you're making puzzle pieces fit together, you know?
and they don't always fit.
No.
Sometimes you need to like make them soggy to like break them.
Yeah,
You know.
forcing things and eventually it's just not going to work. And yeah, that
Yeah.
was the hardest thing for me is like every time I've always like known somebody,
Hmm.
or even like just being a guitar player, you play with a drummer, you get to a point where you know what that drummer is going to do,
Yeah.
and actually even like Commander, our new drummer,
Hmm.
um,
He played the benefit
phenomenal.
show or no? Was that the
No,
guy from
we had to have Tom come up from
Tom?
Maryland for that,
Yeah, yeah. Thank you
because
again.
he couldn't do it,
Mm.
so, and we didn't want to say no to that one. Um, yeah, so like Commander, who is phenomenal drummer, so happy to have him in the band.
Mm.
Um, we had the friendship thing down, but we had never played together, and
Some
then
weird
like just
chemistry.
it kind of blows that things ended when they did, because I felt, and even though you might not be able to tell this when you listen, like, the more I played with him, the more I knew what he was doing before he did it,
Yeah.
and we were just getting there where we were finally able to what I would consider being in sync, because sometimes I felt like, I want to accent things that he does, and yeah, everyone has their own little nuances, and I was just learning
Yeah.
his,
Hmm.
and I was just locking in, and then we
Yeah.
we take this time out, and I miss rocking with that guy, because he, as well as Tom too, but
Mm.
he's like, he plays drums the way I think, like
Interesting. Hmm.
when I hear, if I'm coming up with a song in my head, because I used to dabble with drums myself, I start hearing certain beats in my head, and it's almost like he's in my head, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
awesome, that's exactly what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
That's so rare.
It is rare,
I feel like a
and you
lot of
can't
times
take that stuff for granted.
it's
Yeah,
it's not like it's in a negative way. It's just, hey, I'm feeling this way. No, I'm feeling this way. And you kind of, that's how the creative process really works.
right,
But
right.
when you can get people that kind of just lock in, at least musically, and it shapes without any like real pressure on it, it's just like, hey, this is just work. That's really cool.
Right, and
And
that's where we were there with the Green Machine as well. I mean,
sure.
on a different level. Now with Commander, though, it's kind of like we're all on the same maturity level, which is
Yeah.
low, and we're all,
Low. It's
we're
just
on the
low.
same. Well, we're not very mature when we're together.
Yeah.
We still laugh at ball jokes, and you can't say certain things without cracking up.
Sure.
Um, but we were right where we are right now is
Mm.
a perfect chemistry and everything, and
Awesome.
hopefully we'll be getting back to something.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Cool. I think you see a band live, and I think it determines what you feel like. I feel like once you see the live experience, once you experience it, keep saying see. Once you
Right.
get the experience of a live band, I mean, like I will forever know you guys as like the go-to live band. Do you know what I
Nice.
mean? Like I'm waiting for the next show because I want to go fucking see it. Or
Nice.
experience it. I know I kept seeing C, but I
Yeah,
want
no,
to
I
experience it.
gotcha.
I love that Mark runs up to people and does stuff, and I love that you're running around and like you guys are just having fun.
Right.
It's like, hey, that's what it's about sometimes.
That's exactly what it's about for us, and
You
if
know,
we're not having fun, then
something's not
what
right.
what what are you doing it for?
Mm-hmm.
because if you're not having fun, everyone else sooner or later is going to realize that.
Yeah, and you can tell. You can
Yeah.
tell. I did one show, St. Clair's. It's a bar in Lyndhurst. I forget, but like apparently some big band came by and like blew out their monitors, so they didn't really have any monitors left. But we made so much money that night, but there was like at the beginning of it was such like a low because we were going through like some shit.
Right.
And then it was just like, you know what the fuck are we doing? And then we just kicked it up. And like some guy actually paid twice at the door because he was like, no, they shouldn't be playing here. So I'm paying twice. It was like really bizarre. But like you could tell the energy from like the beginning to the end.
Right.
Because, you know, we're in it together as performers and as a crowd. We're doing this thing together. So if we're not jiving, then no one's having a good time.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And like, I don't think people realize, like, when they're just consuming, that the people on the stage are actually consuming too.
Right.
And
yeah.
And, you know, make it a good show for everybody. Make it a good show for everybody. And you can tell. You can totally tell. I've been in bars where people play and like nobody's feeling it. And it just gets worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it's not even, I don't even think some of these bands or there's anything wrong with them. I just think the vibe was there and it was like, and they're just playing off each other. So I think there's, you know, something for maybe consumers to learn. And who knows, maybe with the pandemic, we might get a fresh new perspective on live music.
I'm curious if we're going to kill with this pandemic. Like, I wonder if we're going to now kill like this whole pay to play thing. And, you know, where music has like turned, it turned on itself. And I wonder if now, you know, when it's all over, people are, you know, it'll have a different outlook, or maybe the reset button has been hit and maybe this was a good thing. You know, I don't know.
I hope so.
We'll see.
That's why I'm kind of curious. Maybe I can jump on the bandwagon here. So the bandwagon, get it? And maybe I can start a band now, and then I can jump on it. Hey,
there you go. Exactly. Exactly.
But, I think it's been a very interesting cycle, and I feel so bad for the people that lost anybody or it's affected them negatively.
It's it's horrible.
Not to take away,
right?
But if you look at it from a bird's eye view, it's like, yeah, well, what advantages are there from it? Maybe music is going to become a thing.
Yeah, you know what? I hope so. I mean, I don't know. Like I got young kids now, and I see the shit that's being pumped into their brains, and I always tell them two things. I go, A, your music sucks, and B, you know, in my day, you know, people had to have talent. They had to, you know, you have 5 guys or girls together. Collectively making noise and having it come together as a piece of art. You know, now you got some fucking idiot, you know, with bleached tips sitting in a room somewhere, you know, making noises into a vocal harmonizer or something. And like, hey, you know, I don't disrespect anybody's art. Whatever your thing is, that's great. But it pains me to see like my kids getting a false, you know, education on what music is.
Well,
and
that's your influence. That's their, you know, this is their time. And I'm sorry, old man, but that's it.
Yeah, it's so true. I don't like. I try to like, you know, teach my girls. I'm like, well, here, you got to listen to the Go-Go's or check out Joan Jett. Check out, you know, people who were like doing things.
At least you're picking out people are still active.
Right.
Current. I know AC Slade was just doing some stuff with Joan Jett and stuff, so that's cool.
Right, yeah, like they kind of dig when they see the chicks doing, you know.
Yeah.
So you know, whatever. I don't care. You know, it's my job to educate them, you know, and of course, if you know, they're going to be a product of their era, and you know, people, you know, whatever they like. But I still have to at least show them the options and show them what it really is supposed to be.
Yeah, I work. So I have a couple people under me at work. Most of them are my age or a little younger or whatever, you know, and it's like they all listen to like I don't know, like this auto-tune rap mumble shit.
Right. That yeah.
And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? You know, like could you not? And they're like, what, man? You know. And I'm just a dickhead coming out from the office, like, hey, fucking turn this shit off. And they're like, yeah,
Right,
whatever.
right.
But it's like that's just what it is to them. They're like, what are you talking? They're like, yo, what are you talking about? This shit.
Totally. When I was young, I was third grade.
Right.
AC/DC was like the shit to me.
Right.
And I had all people telling me, "Yeah, this is crap. You know, what are you listening to this for? You're not going to like this when you're older," which I kind of still do.
Yeah.
But still, you know, yeah, I get it. It's all,
yeah.
you know, it's always
weird,
different.
Though it's weird. Music. I just feel like there's such a an imbalance between creativity and the I don't know how to practicality of music.
Right.
And it's almost like we were talking about before. It's like anybody can just do this from the living room, and it's like that's awesome. I want to give tools to people to be creative, but at the same time, it's like maybe there's a saturation, and it's just becoming too easy for people to create. And then like when you have 100,000 million people making the same type of music, it's gonna catch on. Right?
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true, and
you lose it, somewhere along the way.
Yeah, and I feel like it is my opinion, but it's losing touch with the collaborative, artistic, approach that it had, and now it's like it could just be one person, And again, hey, some of these people are making far more money than I am, so they're doing something right.
Well, yeah.
But it's like, oh, but what about the art behind it? And I guess that's their art, whatever. Who knows?
I don't know. I went to a museum and was pissed because there was I went with my high school sweetheart, right, off and on again for like 10 years, whatever. And I remember we went. It was me, her, and her mom went to Philadelphia to like the art museum, and we just got to a section that I could not understand for the life of me. And at one point, there was literally like this old carpet piled up on the ground. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And they're like, it's art. And I was like, I saw the little car. I'm like, it looks like the fucking maintenance guy just fucking dropped the shit here and just said, fucking, I'll wait for the young buck to come by and pick it up. And it was art. It was like, come on, dude. This isn't...
Right.
I'm going to get hyped.
But yeah, no, I totally hear you. I totally hear you.
That's not art, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck, whoever's smart enough to figure it. I wonder how much money that person made. They're like, dude, I'm redoing my carpets, and I just totally piled it up and left it at the museum.
Yeah, there you go. And maybe that was the artist's joke. I don't know.
Maybe it was. Maybe they're like, But to art to me is supposed to be personable, and it's like a lot of things out today. I don't agree with. I just wasn't raised that way. Maybe I'm just That's you're raising your daughters, or at least you're like, hey, this is a little bit of me.
Right.
I don't feel like a lot of parents do that. I feel like here's a tablet.
Yeah.
Like my niece, she's been weaned off it. My brother is younger than me. He's got a 6-year-old. Beautiful, smart girl, but like there was a time when she was like 4 or 5 where she would start bugging out about tablet.
Right.
And my brother was smart enough to say, I don't like this.
Yeah.
So you're only getting it for a couple hours,
That's exactly where I am now. Like I've kept technology out of their hands as long as I could.
Well,
but
now especially you're up there.
Hard to fight it, right? We're up here, and now I see it turning, and I'm seeing the negative effects of it. So now, I'm in the, I got to be one of those dads that storms in the room and rips it out of their hands. And,
I think it's important.
Whatever.
If I have kids, I'm limiting their screen time.
Yeah, because it will poison them. Definitely will. I see it.
It does.
But
I mean,
they're ticking and they're talking.
They're ticking and they're talking to fucking commies.
Right.
Goddamn Chinese.
Should I tell them? I go, you're if this country goes down, it's your fault.
It's your fault. Your stupid TikTok videos.
Giving the communists our address.
VoodooWaterTV was on TikTok for like a hot minute, and then as soon as I realized, like as soon as the government was like, no, we're banning TikTok, I pulled it because I was like, no, now it's real. Because you see how funny that is? Rumors and speculations. Oh, they're malware and spying.
Right. And
it isn't real.
I wouldn't put anything past them.
Hey, Mama Fox just bought one of our mugs. Thank you very much. Hey, look at that. Thank you very much. I'll be able to buy another 6-pack for next week's show. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's cool. But yeah, the screen time, dude. It's so bad. It's so
Yeah.
bad. And I mean, like, look at me. I'm sitting. All I do is look at fucking screens. But
And I'm yelling. Here I am bitching about my kids, and here I am. I
yeah.
left them, and I'm sitting on a screen.
Right,
But
right, right.
but
Well,
that doesn't matter. This is
it's
art,
fucking
you
different.
know.
Yeah, this is art. This isn't a pile of carpet.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, it's just it's weird times. I don't know. I think a lot about like what my niece is gonna go through. I don't know what the differences are. It's not clearly defined anywhere. Who knows?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
self-driving cars are coming, and autonomous this and that, and technology is just. I was watching a video of an old friend of mine, who has like a 1-year-old now, and she makes videos of her playing guitar to the kid, and you get to watch as the kid gets older, it gets more responsive,
Wow, that's cool.
and she has her phone there to look at the lyrics. And he's crawling over, and he starts reaching out, and I immediately think what? That he's gonna go for the strings, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, he immediately grabbed the phone and started going through the phone, and I was like, oh no, this is it. This is really it. Like, this is it. He
Yep.
didn't give a fuck about the guitar at all. He saw the phone and went, and not in one finger, just going through. I'm like, this is it.
Yep.
We've hit a point now where we know this. This is in our DNA.
Yep. No, totally.
I hope it's for the better, man.
Yeah, as long as people can learn, I guess moderation or something, but
Yeah.
I guess technology is a hard beast to go up against.
It really is, and it's kind of like you said. You kind of said like, well, don't fight it. Kind of make it work for you. I guess adapt to it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, to some degree, definitely.
So the government just acknowledged unidentified aircrafts that they found not made of this world.
Love it. Yep, saw that.
I don't know what your opinion is.
I am a pretty much. I'm not gullible, but I am a believer of anything. Anything's
Okay.
possible.
Right, right.
I grew up one of those kids in 3rd grade that believed the Loch Ness monster, and even though I know it's not real, I still want to believe there's
It could
something
be
in
real.
that fucking loch.
Prove it.
Bigfoot, I'm not so sure about. I just feel like nowadays, in the time of everyone's got a phone, and you can catch
Yeah, he took that
injustice
one
being done to
picture.
people, but you can't catch a big fucking beast in the woods.
Right. He only took
Or-
one picture his whole career.
Right, exactly.
Smart
So
publishers he's got.
where's all the big piles of shit in the woods and this and
Right.
that?
Yeah. So, well, he's
So yeah,
skunk
that
ape.
one I don't know, but aliens for sure, man.
How could there not be?
I'll take it a step further. I believe that we've been in communication with them for years, and I do believe that our military has been in communication with them. I've heard some stories, as silly as they sound, through the years from people that I've known in funny places, who were like, yeah, we got some shit going on with them, and I don't doubt it. I think it would be a naive thought to say that, when you look up into that sea of stars at night, that we're the only one that's got,
That's
life
so egotistical.
floating around it. So
yeah, come on, man.
it's
There's no
not,
way.
there's shit out there.
All right. All right. So I don't know. I feel like maybe like who is they that's been in contact? Is it a world organization? Is it individual governments? I mean, imagine an alien coming down and being like, "No, I want to talk to America." I don't think that's the way it's gonna go down.
That's a good question. Maybe collective world. Yeah, maybe like some sort of,
New World Order.
something like that, or is it that America just happened to have been a far ahead in the technology race, that we created the ability to somehow communicate, or
Like Roswell, like
Bob, like shit like
Bob
that,
Lazar?
and like I mean, fucking Ronald Reagan was putting fucking nukes in space, and it wasn't to fight Russians. It was, I wonder if it was like, is
To
it that we have,
attract?
in case something's incoming,
Yeah.
we gotta fucking have a prayer, and
I don't think it's
now,
gonna matter. I don't think a nuke's gonna matter.
no, probably not,
In
but
fact,
I
they'd
guess,
probably laugh at
it gives
like,
us security mentally anyway, even if it does nothing.
Yeah. But
You know,
you know the Bob Lazar story?
no, I don't think so.
Bob Lazar was this physicist who actually he actually put a rocket. He made a car that had a rocket on it, like a jet engine.
Okay.
And he got famous for that, whatever. But he is this guy that outed Area 51. So they took him in. I forget the name of the company, but there's a whole documentary out on it. But basically, Bob Lazar was this guy that was like, he was in this like weird. He worked for the government in Area 51, and he was part of a team of like a couple dozen people, but nobody knew what each other were working on. And he described seeing 9 different spacecrafts and like this element 0 or whatever, this new element. No one's, and like he describes it all, and like people just kind of credit him a little bit, but now things are coming out that kind of
right.
You know, and it was like, and he himself is like, I don't know, this is just what I saw, all this stuff, but it's like, all right. So he's saying that there's spacecrafts and all this shit, and then now recently that the government acknowledged it. It's like, are they just slowly rolling stuff out now at this point?
Right,
to get us kind of comfortable with it?
It's I wouldn't doubt it, you know. Another theory I have is maybe it's just our own fucking government, you know. I mean, you look
fucking
at things look about, you know, go Google the SR-71 and look at aircraft that we had in the late 40s, things that far surpass any, you know, jets that could fly in the atmosphere, you know, at light speed, or not light speed, but, you know, faster than the speed of sound, and you know, I mean, shit like that.
Yeah. I mean, Bob Lazar speaks about he was privy to a testing of this craft, a small craft that could barely fit a man in it. And the issue was that it had no inertia effects, so like it just moved.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was saying that it must have been a gravitational propulsion versus like a combustion. Like a rocket's pushing you forward. The back pressure, you know, pushes you. I don't know. I'm stupid. I'm an ape when it comes to this shit. But like, you know, and it's like it just moved around.
Right.
You know, and it was all this element 0 or whatever the fuck it's called. How weird is that? And he said that there was no, so the engine was like all the parts weren't connected, so that they must have just somehow, they just need to be near each other to work.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really bizarre, and he really goes into detail. You should look him up, Bob Lazar.
Nice.
But it's like, you know, you got someone that's like really smart, and that's really smart.
Yeah.
Some guy on a farm, you know, and yeah, that's another thing too. There's a whole farm where for 20 years or something they've been exchanged hands, owners and stuff, but they would find like carcasses, like cow totally mutilated but no blood, and all this shit. I forget what the name of it is, but it's yeah, check them out, man. To me, it just makes sense at this point. They actually changed the definition of UFO. I forget what they changed it to, but it's no longer UFO.
Right. Okay.
And it reminds me of like, you know, what's the easiest way to subdue someone's conscience? It's like just keep changing things, you know. Like become familiar with change. Dictionaries get smaller. You know.
Wild.
Yeah. I don't know. The whole UFO thing is very bizarre, and then for it to come out during this time where everybody's like kind of on the lockdown.
True.
It's weird.
They're coming.
Yeah. I mean, what would you do? What would you do if alien? You're out in the middle of nowhere. What if an alien ship dropped down?
I guess it depends if they were. I mean, I guess if they were had any ill intents, they're gonna smoke us. You know.
Sure. Right. They have to be able to.
Yeah, I would think so. If they can do intergalactic travel.
Yeah.
I'm sure they can shoot laser beams out of their eyes too. So. We'll see.
Mark says, crazy aliens and their alien probing.
Yeah, he's
silly little green men.
He is right here next to me.
Next to the Zeus computer.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think about these things sometimes, and I'm just like, man, there has to be something to it. I don't know if you take any psychedelics or anything.
I do not, but you know, if I were to, I would unleash a beast that I do not want to meet. So.
Okay, all right. I have partaked. sometimes, allegedly, and I could see it. I could see them traveling this way. Just kind of.
Yeah.
There's
Ah,
more to the world than we think.
oh, definitely.
You know.
Definitely. Yep. And that I agree with 100%.
I just don't know what their goal. What bothers there's to me there's no question that intelligent life exists besides us.
Right.
It's just if you're that technology, have that much, if you're that much advanced, what are your goals? I feel like they're just going to like what? You're going to the zoo? What are your
Maybe the
goals?
zoo, maybe there are certain things that we as humans have, I'm not going to get too spiritual here, but maybe I'm just throwing this out there as an example. Maybe there is such thing as a soul, and maybe certain things, you see how technology can become an enemy.
Yeah.
Maybe a race like that has come so far that they don't have some basic things that we have. Maybe
Right.
they're in search of like a soul, or maybe they created us, and just like how like a fisherman has a pond where he raises bait, we're just their pond.
That's what I think.
Who knows?
That's what I think. I think I think primates of a very low level were walking around and they mutate the gene a little bit. It's like that missing gene.
Right.
It's
Right.
like, well, to me, it's like we're growing fake meat.
Yeah.
We've cloned sheeps with 2 heads. So what is this so fucking? I don't understand why people are so closed-minded. Like, well, that's ridiculous. Why is it ridiculous? We're cloning meat.
Yeah.
It's like we're making our own food. Like, why would you think it's any different?
Right.
And they just came back. Nuclear weapons happened. We tested nuclear weapons. We've used nuclear weapons, and boop, 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 boop. Oh, hey, you know that thing we went to 1,000,000 years ago? Let's go check it out because it looks like they finally reached an interesting point.
Yeah. Wild.
I don't know.
Well, I'm here. I'm alive when they show themselves.
Listen, I feel like, my friend, we're in interesting times with technology and the current world events.
Yeah, I mean that's just what we need now, are aliens to land. That would make so much sense.
Imagine that. And it's like, what do we do?
Yeah.
There's some arrogant prick's gonna be like, military defense.
Right.
So stupid.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. What do I know? I don't fucking
know. I hear you.
But yeah, man. Aliens, Flak Jacket, Ambush Radio. When's the next show? Do you know?
No, we're kind of, Militia and I have been toying with. We've been in talks with, seeing about jumping on this live bandwagon kind of thing, doing, whether it be like a fireside acoustic thing or having the guys come up here and doing something.
Right.
As far as Flak Jacket goes, but as far as Ambush goes, maybe tomorrow night we'll do a show and we'll talk about this.
Okay, cool. And you just go on to the website and you can stream from there.
Well, I always post when our episodes will be streaming, and they stream on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
All right, cool.
And if we get to a new episode, I'll put it up. I advertise ahead of time, and
cool. Yeah. All right. Is there anything you'd like to tell the people?
No, man. I'm honored that I was able to do this, and it was cool being on the other side.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Never happened, and I'm psyched, and I wish you all the success.
Thanks, man. And we want to get you back in the studio, like in the Voodoo Lounge here and hanging out. It's not as cool as the Hooch.
It looks like you got a cool operation.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. We'll see. It's the expense of the equipment, and then the expense of decorating. Decorating kind of took a back seat.
No, I hear you.
But, we'll make it cool, and we'll have you in here, and we'll do some stuff. Maybe we'll do a little acoustic thing with you and Mark.
Sounds awesome.
Cool, man. I really appreciate it. You can stay on the line if you want. If not, I'll talk to you next time. I'm just gonna rattle some stuff off to the good people here.
Yeah, man. I guess I'll bounce, and I'm gonna shotgun some beers, and
nice,
I can't thank you enough for this.
Dude, no, thank you. I really appreciate it. I wanted to get you on from the very beginning, but I wanted a nice production before I had you, because you've been hosting and you're just such a cool guy. I want to make sure everything's cool.
Oh, shucks. Well, it was perfect.
Awesome, man. Appreciate that. We'll see you next time, all right?
All right, dude. Peace.
All right, later, man. Thank you. Cool. How awesome was that? I learned a lot actually about Flak Jacket and all sorts of stuff, guys. I just want to give some quick shout outs. Let's see. Aaron Martin, thank you very much for watching. Let's see. Mark, thank you very much. We want to get you on the show too, buddy. And Mama Fox says, I can barely hear your end. I hope that there wasn't an audio issue, but you never know. Let's see. Silver Fox says, very cool song. Ellen says, what a great once in a lifetime experience you'll have for the rest of your life. I guess touring you're talking about. And yes, it was a great once in a lifetime, maybe. We'll see. I'm not done yet. I'm only 28, guys. I could totally go back on tour. Who knows? What I want to say is thank you very much for sticking around, guys, and the continued support's been awesome. I'm hoping to get more people in the actual studio, but obviously we have to be remote with a lot of things. I'm looking forward to your comments, suggestions, and please don't forget to like and subscribe, and you'll be able to find this episode 12, up on our YouTube, as well as other content. So go subscribe, go figure that out. Go find that. And I am looking to start working with someone here in the studio to work all the boards and everything while I'm interviewing guests. So yeah, I don't know. And do I look too far away? Am I too far away? Do I need to make myself bigger? There we go. Look how big I am now. I ate a mushroom from Mario. Guys, thank you so much for the support as always, and I look forward to the next one. We're trying to get Tristan here. I know we're trying to talk it out and schedule it so that she's doing some new stuff from Brooklyn in the studio, and then she can pop in here and we can do like a podcast here. And I got some other people that have podcasts from around the different states here coming up. So stay tuned. And if you know anybody that would be interested in coming on the show that you would like to watch, please send an email to VoodooWaterTV@gmail.com. And that's it, guys. That's all I got. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.